Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at DynastyDad FF. Joined as always by my main man at FFSnoog. We just passed 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Check the link down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We are here to help you guys smash this offseason and get yourself into the spot for fantasy glory. Nobody better to chop it up with than my main man Snoog. And no topic more relevant right now than our rookies. We did our show where we're doing our OTA risers. Today it's rookies to buy before it's too late. And Snoog, there's a guy in Cleveland. We've saw it with Nick Chubb. We saw it from other running backs in the past in Stefanski systems. Quinshon Judkins is set up to smash in 2025.
Yeah, you want to talk about an every down workhorse. This guy's done it in 2 different systems in college, 3 straight seasons with 1,000+ yards, 15 touchdowns in all 3 of those seasons. People question athleticism. He went to the combine and blew the doors off it. One of the most athletic running backs to step foot at the combine in years. One of the best RAS scores to have. 4.48 speed at 220+ pounds. Crazy, ridiculous 1.48 split. Jumped out of the gym as well. The production, the athleticism, and then the next step, draft capital. He was the 36th overall pick, 3rd running back selected in the NFL draft. He's everything you want in a workhorse running back. And the reason why we're saying he's a guy to buy now before it's too late, he's the consensus 106, 107 in rookie drafts. He's going around guys like James Cook, Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker, all those type of guys. He's better than all those guys. He's gonna gain. He might not outscore those guys this year, but he's going to gain more value than those guys heading into, 2026, 2027 at just 21 years old. We comped him to Josh Jacobs and Joe Mixon in the rookie draft guide, and I think those are realistic outcomes and situations for him in this Kevin Stefanski offense. And one stat I found that made me even more bullish on him. If you just look at all of the starting running backs in Kevin Stefanski's systems, dating back to his OC days in Minnesota, Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb, literally like 4 or 5, 6 straight years of top 15, top 10 finishes. And then you also had Kareem Hunt in there dabbling in a top 20 finish in back-to-back seasons, splitting carries with Nick Chubb. So he's a run-heavy offensive-minded coach. Judkins is going to be a do-it-all workhorse in this offense. He's in my top 8 Dynasty rankings right now.
And right now on Dynasty Data Lab, he is the RB12. He goes right after Kyron Williams, right before James Cook, and I know you have him over both of those guys. And I think this is that time where this is it. If you want to buy him, you take a guy like Kenneth Walker, like a running back like Chuba Hubbard, and you try to tier up and you get yourself a Quinshon Judkins. This is the last opportunity you have to tier off of, say, a Bucky Irving, a Breece Hall, a Jonathan Taylor, who, Bucky had a fantastic year. The other 2 guys down years where you can get a plus on top. You could get Judkins and a first for JT in a second. And we talk about insulated trades where last year we had a guy on the trade show. If you guys don't know that, every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, we do a live trade show. And the guy reached out and he said, Dad, last year you told me to sell Jonathan Taylor for Derrick Henry and a random 25 first. And that random 25 first became Travis Hunter. If you do that in this year's class and you get yourself one of these other, that random 26 first becomes Nicholas Singleton, you crushed it. Quinshon Judkins is the next big thing from that running back position from Cleveland. I'm excited for him. The other guy I'm excited for, Snoog, and, this is a class that is phenomenal at running back. Ashton Genty's irreplaceable. He's going to be our Dynasty RB3. And we all know that Amarion Hampton is a stud, but he's going way too high. His value right now, he's going RB6, RB5. Sometimes he's going before the major quarterbacks in Superflex startups. My guy is TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson is falling considerably lower, going in that same area as Quinshon Judkins. We love both the Ohio State running backs. I personally love TreVeyon Henderson because I feel like he's going to have a Reggie Bush type rookie season. This is the best pass catcher in this class. Led all running backs with 7.1 yards per carry last year. Elite in the open field, hyper productive on the ground and the air, over 1,000 yards and 20 receptions in every single season, and has that breakaway speed and quickness. I think this is someone that has right now. I have him higher than Quinshon Judkins. I think he has top 12 fantasy upside day one. I think both of them at first glance, people say, oh, these are horrible landing spots. You know, the Browns don't have the greatest offense, and they have Jerome Ford already in place. And then they say, and they drafted Dylan Sampson. Other people say, well, you know what? The Patriots, I mean, they have Ramondre Stevenson, right? Ramondre Stevenson was really inefficient last year. Ramondre Stevenson may have gotten a contract, but he's not TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson has one fumble across his entire college career. This is someone that takes care of the football. Quinshon Judkins takes care of the football. Both of them can catch and make things happen. These are home run threats. It's like a lot of people are saying, well, but they're going to split carries with those other guys. It only takes a matter of time before a coach says, you know what, I want to win. You know, like I'm not just trying to play. I think Ramondre Stevenson is a fine insurance running back, but TreVeyon Henderson has all the tools it takes to tear up, to go absolutely ballistic. Right now, I have him as in between the two classes from 2025 and 2026, my RB4 overall. Genty, Love, Hampton, then Henderson, Judkins is right after that. So if you look at, you're trying to buy running backs for, you know, this year and next year, 26 has some nice guys, but 2025, this is the year you want to buy the running backs. I've been trying to buy Henderson everywhere. You know, I did that trade where I got Henderson and A.J. Brown for Quinshon Judkins and Garrett Wilson. I think TreVeyon Henderson is a league winner. You think Quinshon Judkins is the league winner? Snoog, ultimately, I think both these guys are smashes. I'm taking them both everywhere I can get them. I'm trying to invest late fourth draft capital in your startups, 105, 106, 107 in your rookie drafts. These are guys you want to get. There's a couple other guys in this class that we're looking at a little bit deeper in the class, guys that are maybe 108 to 110, 112 range. There's a tight end here. Again, we talk about ideal landing spots. Damn, you know, Travis Hunter moves to the Jaguars with Liam Cohen, and you're like, this is a Chris Godwin plus. This particular tight end, you know, Ben Johnson moves over to the Bears, and you're saying, we need a Sam Laporta type, and who does he draft?
Colston Loveland. The number one thing when everybody says, well, Snoog, the room's crowded. Aren't you scared of that situation? All this. What about Caleb Williams? You have one job to come in, be the savior of that franchise, Ben Johnson. You get hired. You get handed the keys to the franchise, a team that's been bad for 20 plus years. They haven't done anything since, you know, that defensive era when they were unstoppable. They haven't even had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards. Like, they are literally screwed. They finally build a monstrous offense, build up the elite offensive line. They got Swift back there. You get one job. You get the 10th overall pick. What are you going to do with it, Ben Johnson? In a nasty defensive edge in D-line class, super deep, could have went edge, D-lineman, O-lineman, could have done anything. He comes in, he takes a damn tight end. 10th overall. Like, that's ridiculous. That's elite draft capital for a tight end. And this is a player, Colston Loveland. He's that Trey McBride, that George Kittle type of tight end. He's a nasty receiver. He can separate at a high level. He can run every single route on the field, catches the ball at a high point, can catch the ball through traffic, great extended wingspan. He could literally moss people with his 6'5" height. Like, he can do it all. He's also a yak machine. He's going to have a good role in this offense at a young age. He's still 20, 21 years old. He's my tight end 3 in Dynasty right now. I'm super bullish on his outcome, right? Because I just think his ceiling and what he can be is so much higher than like a Laporta, you know, a Hawkinson, some of these other guys. I think, especially with his age, that he could really be a big riser and a big baller in this offense with Caleb Williams, who we're also super bullish on. So that's why I'm all in on Colston Loveland. And it's more so the reason why he's on this show is it's like, okay, people have him as like, you know, tight end 5, tight end 6, whatever it is in Dynasty. But like, we're telling you to buy before it's too late. Because if he comes out and has a Sam Laporta-esque type rookie year, he's going to be everybody's tight end 3 in Dynasty, and he's going to be worth damn near close to 2 firsts.
And this time of year last year, everybody was saying Brock Bowers was in redraft tight end 12. 2 years ago, they said Sam Laporta was a redraft tight end 15. Right now, Colston Loveland is redraft tight end 12. I think he's one of the best value buys. And I think in 2025, Cole Kmet might still be involved, but in 2026 and beyond, Colston Loveland is going to be a league winner. He's someone that's going to be able to just absolutely dominate. We want you to tear up. We want you to tear up off of Evan Ingram, off of David Njoku, off of Dalton Kincaid. That's a great one. You know, you want to get yourself, reset the clock, get to Colston Loveland a little bit younger. A running back that I'm trying to tier up and I'm trying to get every single place I
Love
can
this one.
It's the new Najee Harris. It's Kaleb Johnson. Kaleb Johnson, I think, is more impressive athletically than Najee Harris ever was. Najee Harris, every single year in this Steelers offense, has notched 250 touches every single year. What do the Steelers do when they draft a running back who they know can take that workload? Kaleb Johnson in college in 2024, 250 carries, 1,537 rushing yards, 21 touchdowns. And Snoog, he was underutilized as a wide receiver, as a running back coming out of the backfield, as getting those checkdowns. I think he has the talent for that. I think he has the ability to be their goal line back. Yes, Jaylen Warren is still there. I think he's going to see a majority of the third down and passing routes. But I think Kaleb Johnson, as a 1 and 2 down grinder for this offense, has the ability to dominate and put up 1,000 yards as a rookie. He is a lock to move up in value. Right now, you're getting him at 110, 111. In next year's class, he's the RB3 for me. I have him below Singleton and below Love, but I have him above everybody else. And I think the faster you realize that, the quicker you go out and you say, you know what? Next year's class is not special. I'm going to trade my mid to late first and get Kaleb Johnson. And I'm looking on Dynasty Data Lab, and I see that everywhere. I see opportunities where I'm just dominating that. I see Chase Brown and Chuba Hubbard for Drake London and Kaleb Johnson. That's a free Kaleb Johnson. Get those type of deals done. I see Justin Fields straight up for Kaleb Johnson. Justin Fields has a ton of upside, but Kaleb Johnson is going to be at least an RB2 for the next 3 to 5 years. This is Najee plus. I'm all in on this. I think if you can get him for any of those mid to late 26 first, if you can tier up off of a Chuba Hubbard, off of some of these guys that I don't like, your Brian Robinsons, your Isaiah Pacheco's, guys like that, where you can add an early second, go get Kaleb Johnson everywhere you can, because I think this guy has staying power. Snoog, he's young, he's explosive. He reminds me a lot of Arian Foster. I love him. I love his upside for the long term. Kaleb Johnson is a supreme buy in Dynasty.
It's a match made in heaven with Arthur Smith's, zone run scheme with Kaleb Johnson coming from Iowa, 6'1", 225 pounds, 20 years old still. He's just a perfect Steeler running back, and we know how those end up working out. They always end up hitting and ended up being good. So I think he's going to be great over there in Pittsburgh. I'm going to change things up on you. It just feels like a My Guys show right now, and a lot of the guys we've been talking about, besides the first two running backs we talked about with Judkins and Henderson, telling you to buy these guys before they blow up and put up 1,000+ rushing yards a pop and end up being top 5 to 6, 7, 8 dynasty running backs.
Hit me with it.
It feels like it's been more kind of ambiguous guys that people are kind of timid of because the situations, are they going to play? Are they going to be like, Rome Odunze's and JSN's year ones? I want Emeka Egbuka in every single damn league I can.
There we go.
It's like Colston Loveland and another guy we're going to talk about that you'll finish us off with. People are not everybody. There's still a lot of like sharps saying like, let's just go after these guys. They're studs. They got the draft capital. They're going to work out long term. But there's a lot of leagues I've seen and on Twitter where people are like, he's literally the wide receiver 4 on the team. He's the wide receiver 3 on the team.
I see that everywhere.
He's a stud. He's going to end up being the wide receiver 1 on that team heading into 2026, 2027 all day. We saw what Baker Mayfield can do in this offense. He's going to be Emeka's go-to target. He's that Rashee Rice, Amon-Ra St. Brown, that JSN slot plus type of player who can also win downfield. He's as savvy of a route runner as you can get. Best route runner in this class, hands down. Most polished, pro-ready wideout in this class as well. And he got first-round draft capital on a team, again, like I said, with the Loveland, Ben Johnson, 10th overall pick situation. The Buccaneers had so many holes to fill, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They had 3 very good, perfectly capable wide receivers. They went out there and took Emeka Egbuka 19th overall. Why? Because this guy led Ohio State all-time in receptions, put up 1,000+ yards, outproducing Marvin Harrison Jr. from a yards per out run standpoint, was hyper efficient alongside him, and then put up another 1,000 yards and 10+ touchdowns alongside Jeremiah Smith. He produced around the best of the best talent, and he's a pro ready. He's literally a pro's pro. So, and outside of the top 20 dynasty wide receivers, I think that's stealing in dynasty right now, especially as a rebuilder.
And Jalen McMillan, let's be honest, he finished
Good
as a
player.
12
Good
wide
player.
receiver down the stretch, but he's not the same talent level. Right now, Emeka Egbuka is going at overall in Dynasty, pick 75, wide receiver 27, in that same range as DJ Moore, Jordan Addison, DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, Jamison Williams. And do you prefer any of those wide receivers over him today?
No. I just don't think
Yeah.
there's a real world that Evans and Godwin, with their recent injury histories the past 2 to 3 years, stay healthy for a full 17 games. They're great players. I love Mike Evans. He's one of the best players that I've gotten to watch this generation. Chris Godwin's a stud. Emeka Egbuka is going to get to learn from these two and just become even more of a pro.
I got my creamsicle on. I just drafted Baker Mayfield in
Let's go.
in Smash Accept 19. And dude, he's just getting an embarrassment of riches. This is just another great feather in his cap. I think he's been a top 5 quarterback the last several years. And Egbuka, his value is right there. I mean, he's gone anywhere from 108 to 202.
I've seen him in the early second. That's crazy. And I'm trading up. I'm like, let me get him.
I'm smashing here. A lot of you guys think I'm going to say Matthew Golden. I love Matthew Golden. I think Golden's got a lot of opportunity. I think he's going to increase in value. Other people have seen me on Twitter post about Trey Harris, and I think Trey Harris has a ton of upside and someone that could be in there. What I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about Luther Burden. We're excited about this Bears offense. If you're in on Kaleb like Snoog and I are, Snoog, in 2023, who was the Dynasty projected wide receiver 1 overall? It was Tet versus Luther, and most people had it as Luther. Luther Burden was unstoppable, an absolute nightmare in 2023. 86 receptions, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, third in PFF grade with 91.0, 3.29 yards per route run, 8.4 yards after the catch. A lot of people were comparing him to a juiced up Jaden Reed or a Deebo Samuel light. Now, we talk about ambiguous wide receiver situations, and every year cream rises to the top. Marv just put in there Kyle Williams. That's another guy I've been talking about a lot.
We had him and we switched him out for Luther. That's funny you said that.
Kyle Williams is a guy that I believe in a lot, but I think Luther Burden talent-wise is better. If Luther Burden was on the Patriots, oh geez, like the stock would be through the roof. So here's the deal. I think you look at Ben Johnson, and he wants to make this offense thrive through the slot. That's what he did in Detroit. And what did he do in Detroit? It was Amon-Ra St. Brown with over 100 receptions in every single season. And Laporta. He got his Laporta with Colston Loveland. Now this is his Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think this is an elite yards after the catch weapon, someone that is going to dominate the slot, someone that has natural explosiveness with power. Snoog, I think a lot of people have it low, but I think Luther Burden gets at least 60 touches as a rookie. And I think we're talking 15 plus carries, 45 plus receptions. If that happens, he's going to have over 1,000 total yards. And if he does that, right now, most people are drafting him at 202, 203. I think he's going to be able to be worth a mid-first. Heaven forbid one of these guys goes down to injury. If it's Moore or if it's Rome or if it's Burden, 2 of these guys are going to eat like maniacs. And I think Luther Burden is someone that is a human joystick. A lot of people are going to say, well, Daddy didn't separate. He didn't get open. The yards per route runner there, the ability to get manufactured touches in an elite offense. If he had gone to an offense that's boring as hell, like the Dallas Cowboys, I would have been like, okay, they don't get creative. Ben Johnson gets creative. He found ways to get Amon-Ra St. Brown the ball. What did Amon-Ra St. Brown do in his first interview, Snoop? He listed all the teams that didn't draft him. My first interview I saw with Luther Burden, he said 31 teams passed on me and they're going to regret it. And I think they will. And I don't want you to regret that by not getting him. I think you could trade DJ Moore in a second and get Luther Burden in a first. I think this is the time. Next year, I do not think DJ Moore is in Chicago. And we're going to talk about Rome Odunze, who was in our breakout show. We're going to talk about Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, and Kaleb Williams. And you're going to be like, this is the new offense that you wish you had been investing in Dynasty. So, guys, this is our top 6 rookies that you need to buy before it's too late. We just did a show with our OTA risers. We've been bringing you guys content left and right. Make sure you subscribe down below to our YouTube page. We are now, Snoog, we hit 4,000 the other day. We're already at 4,200. I want to get to 500 or 5,000 by the time we get to July. So guys, help us out with that. Check out the Patreon. That link is below as well. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the process.